Nigga, you ain't never come home and she might have just like had your drink made and shit, and your shit already on 2K. Like, yo, he was acting, he was sounding like he was having a bad day.
If my wife ever had 2K up and ready for me, I'll be shooting my naps up. I'll be thinking she about to kill me or poison me. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But
everybody, welcome back to another episode of the According to West podcast. As always, got DeLaw here.
Yep, got me. DeLaw, the devil's son-in-law, in the house right now.
And you got me, Wes. It's a change up. You in a hoodie, I'm in a beater, and in a tank top, and I'm like, it must be cold as fuck in your house right now.
We'll just say
shout out to Business Smith.
It's a little chilly, and you know, since she takes care of it, it's controlled by her, and you got to make your own accommodations at that point. So if it's cold, put your hoodie on. If it's hot, take the hoodie off. So
it's been plenty of times I've been like, hey, like I'll be, because I'm in the basement and shit, so the shit is more extreme. So when she be turning down the thermostat, like when in the summertime, it'd be cold as shit down here. She's like, oh, my bad. I'm like, why do you have it at like 72?
Well, she's upstairs, so it's relatively warmer upstairs.
Yeah, I got you.
Having it lower, it might be a little cold down here.
Yeah.
Upstairs, it's the ridiculous thing of feeling the biggest temperature difference. Man, it's so it's warm up there, so we got the ceiling fan on, but when you come downstairs, it feels like it's 72 degrees.
Yeah. I mean, the scientific statement of heat rises. So that's how that go. Yo, one thing I would recommend for y'all though is get one of them portable air conditioner units, not the one like the box train that you hang out the window, but the one you can roll around and you just exhaust hose out. So she want her room y'all room, but mainly her room because she want the room like fucking polar bear cooler than a polar bear's toenails in that motherfucker. That's the thing to get.
Yeah. I think part of it, because when we lived around the corner at the other place, it would be cool upstairs.
Yeah.
But they had gotten a new outdoor unit, a new furnace. It was a new water heater. So, and they were like, yeah, the house is pressurized, so the temperature that you feel down here is the temperature you should feel upstairs.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit more comfortable over there than us coming here and we having an old outdoor unit and an older furnace. So in the grand scheme of it, I think in order for us to kind of make it more comfortable where it might blow a little better upstairs, we might have to look into getting another furnace. Because, the furnace can only pump out so much juice for so long before it's just...
Yeah. It could also have something to do, like when you said y'all was around the corner, maybe it could also just have something to do with how the sun is, where the sun is predominantly at during the day.
I mean, yeah.
Because I don't know if the sun sits on your house, but I know my mom.
It sits on the front of the house because our room is in the front of the house. So how it kind of was at the other place, we had someone behind us. So the sun didn't necessarily hit me. That's why when we were recording outside, I never was complaining that it was super hot or anything. It was just, we were just in there, like whatever. Yeah. And then if the sun did hit the front of the house, it didn't hit it directly, not like it hits directly here.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that if we put it on 75 while we're gone, and then like when I'm about to go to bed, we turn it down or whatever, you do feel it get cooler upstairs. So part of me thinks it's just your body used to the temperature of what it is, and since the AC is not going to run nonstop all the time, it's just
Yeah.
It's just not. You're not going to feel the difference if you've been in 72 the whole day. You're going to have to drop it to feel the difference. So instead of dropping it, I always, when she leaves or if we all leave, I'll raise it up so that when you get in the house, you turn down, it starts to cool the house off. You can feel the difference upstairs too.
You ain't got one of them joints you can control through the internet?
No, that's going to be my next house.
Nah, I mean it's shit. It's been working wonders for me. Just because like you know, oh I forgot to do this or whatever. Ain't nobody, you know, that type of shit. I ain't gotta go in all the particulars, but
I mean,
yeah.
I would like something like that where if it's like, all right, babe, we're both gone. So let's just turn, like, especially like the wintertime. All right, well, we're both gone. Let's go ahead and turn the heat down to 72.
Mm-hmm.
And then 30 minutes before you're on your way home, just set a timer to turn it up to 75 so the house is nice and warm, or vice versa. Like turn the, when we leaving out, turn the air down to 75, and then maybe 30 minutes to an hour before we get there, turn it back up. So that way, because that way you'll be saving a little bit more money. I know in the summertime you save more money than you do in the wintertime because BG&E kicks you in the ass during the
wintertime.
During the wintertime,
yeah,
versus the summertime because you're not using as much hot water.
Yeah.
Or the electric side of it, but it doesn't run like that. In some days you can really just open up the windows and let the breeze come through if it's the perfect day for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, yeah, no, I would love to have something like that.
They only like 100. I had got one. I actually had got two. When I got the house, remember I was telling you when I got the house, there was no air AC condenser out there. Like
Yeah.
I got this foreclosed or whatever. So they stole that shit a long time ago. So I had to rock with that. So I got enough money up to like redo the furnace and the outdoor condenser and shit. So I was rocking with two of them. But the motherfuckers came in handy when, my wife wanted a particular room cool or whatever. Like if she was in one room doing her nails or, doing her hair and shit. And, leave the rest of the house alone. You can iceberg the fuck up out of that room and we would, call it a day.
I think when we move into our final home, or whenever we move again, I kind of want a 2-story house.
You still want a 2-story house?
Yeah, 2-story.
Like you mean basement and main floor, or like
basement and main floor.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Or a split level. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, like,
oh no, I don't want no more. Look, on our next house, I don't want no more steps that I gotta deal with. We already got to walk up 15 to 20 steps to get to the front door. Then we got to walk.
Oh man,
to get to the.
Y'all got one of those townhouses. Was like, oh my gosh.
Look, every person that's come over to the house that is like older than me and my wife are like, y'all got stairs. Do y'all have like a back door y'all can go through?
Exactly.
If you come through the back, you gotta walk up enough, just the same amount of steps. It's just a cushion.
Yo, every time like I'll be like speaking of stairs, I'll be looking for houses and shit. Like all the nice houses, like whatever state you in, they the ones that with the house on the hill and this and that, and the wrapping driveway and shit. And then you look at them stairs, and all I can think of is, I'm not fucking carrying them groceries up them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So
I would like the split level because then it leaves space for. Let's say we take this big TV and we put it in the upstairs part of the house where all the bedrooms and kitchen and stuff is at. And then downstairs, it could be another TV where we're not really running into each other. And then let's say I'm like, all right, hey, fellas, come over, let's watch the Super Bowl or watch whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's just a matter of you guys come in through the back door. She ain't got to see you.
That's how it is. That's how it is right now with me. You gotta have that separation. You would want to have that separation of space. Yeah. Like they can just come in through the side door, whatever have you. My wife would never come downstairs. You know what I mean? Like because it
might be a full bathroom downstairs.
Yeah, we gotta have. I gotta have right now, but yeah.
I mean, it just depends on what we get, but definitely whatever we get next is going to have a basement. And if we do any more than just a split level, that might have to go up another floor. I think we're going to try to make sure it's like as minimum stairs,
like
the front door as possible.
Like, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Front door steps the front door steps is the killer.
Yeah.
The rest of these steps, it's only 14 steps to go from where I'm at now up to the store, up to the thing, because I walk the steps at least 4 times a day in the morning. I just count it,
You put exercise or just because that's your routine,
if I'm exercising and I'm like, let me just walk the stairs like 4 times real quick to throw something in there to add to it, then I'll do
Oh,
it.
okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But generally, it's just because I'm like, oh shit, I left this upstairs and come back down. Oh shit, I left this upstairs and I come back down. Now I go upstairs and I gotta use the bathroom again, come back down, and that's all within like 15 minutes of it.
Oh, is that shit? We still young to a degree. Now we super young.
Mhm.
My mother-in-law, like her townhouse, lovely townhouse. I love the fuck out of that townhouse. It's just so many stairs. And when I say so many stairs, and they built solid as a motherfucker. I'm talking about solid ass stairs where you walk up them, and they tall for some reason. Like the landing is kind of you have to lift your legs up to and that's in the house, not even she's when you come into it, like it's flat surface or whatever. So as soon as you come in, hallway, laundry shed, garage, room back there, and then you're going up the stairs.
Mhm.
And I'm like, ooh. It's a nice townhouse. Like if I was I don't even think if I was if I could fly.
Yeah.
I could just glide up the stairs, but I could not see myself. And
See, if me and my wife had met each other younger, and we had gotten a townhouse like the one when we first moved to Bowie, that was like like 3 stories.
yeah,
We could get through that because we still been young, but we would have still had to do like my parents and brought something else. They ended up getting a 2-story, a basement plus the main floor plus the bedroom floor.
yeah,
So they ended up buying one of those, which obviously they don't go in the basement because they have someone that lives down there, so they just deal with their main floor.
yeah.
At some point, we're going to have to move into that sort of situation because them stairs ain't friendly. And by the time we end up moving, the kids should be gone. Um, he may or may not. It just depends on what the market looks like and what he's once he gets his certifications, finds a good paying job. But
Y'all could always. I was just talking to somebody about this, and I'm pretty sure y'all probably thought about this. Have it. That just depends on how y'all are at the time, whenever the time is. What a lot of people do, they'll have the kids buy the house from the parent.
mhm.
And it's on paper, right? You bought this house for this amount of money, this and that. But to truly help the kid out, let's just say the house is 300,000, they'll probably get a kid 200,000 back. And it's like, all right, this is going towards the mortgage. So technically, you got this nice ass house. You still paying something towards it. You're gonna get your tax benefits and shit like that. But this is for that.
Yeah, I think that's what my fraternity brother's parents did. They their house was paid off and they ended up selling them the house
Mm-hmm.
for like the low.
No, you don't sell it for the low.
They wanted to keep it in the family, so they gave it to the kids, but they did it for like when I say the low, I mean order.
No, you mess up the market by selling it for the low. You mess up the neighbors. You just fuck the neighbors at that point.
I mean, the house still, so you don't mess up the market by selling it low to your children. You mess up the market when you don't keep your shit up and it doesn't appraise for the rest of the houses in the market.
Yo, but I always thought like like for the comps, like, oh, I got the same thing. Like, let's just say somebody got the 2 houses are pretty much the same or whatever. And it was like, well, that house down the street sold for 100,000 or 200,000 less than that. Then that's what your house is worth. That is a thing.
That is a thing. No, I'm not saying that's not a thing. I'm just saying how they did it to give them. They pretty much was giving them the house. The parents were moving, and they didn't sell the house to nobody random. So they practically kind of gave them the house, and all they pay is the taxes on the house. So the house is still paid off.
Okay.
They pay the taxes on the house. So if they ever wanted to sell the house and decided to appraise the house, then the house would appraise for how it appraises based on what's around them.
Okay.
So the they do look at what's sold. Like I think when we got our house, they looked at a house that had just sold. We had bid on that house, but we didn't get it. But that house and then a house like down the street somewhere, and then they came up with the appraisal for ours, which came out to be like a 10,000 less than what we offered.
Mm.
And so luckily in Maryland, you don't, if you bid something you ain't got to pay it, you just negotiate the thing. But
Mm-hmm.
my coworker from North Carolina said that it ain't like that down there. Whatever you say you going to bid or what you going to pay, that's what you're going.
That's what you're going to pay. Yeah.
They don't care how that appraises. Oh, the house praised at 450, and you say you're going to give us 540. You giving up 540. I was like, oh, okay.
Man, everything about the housing market is man, that's how you go poor. From appliances to buying a house, to selling the house, to maintaining it, to heating it and cooling it and repair. Like,
I'll say this before, if anything was ever to happen that me and my wife, God forbid, both lost our jobs or something, the first thing we would do would be sell the house because that's where all our money is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At least if we sell the house, it may be, let's say this is well down the road where if we sold, we'll get like maybe 200,000-300,000 or something. You know what I'm saying? We can go from there and say, okay, well, let's find something in this price range here. And let's just pay it off. And then now we only got to pay the taxes on it. That would be like the plan. You know what I mean? If anything ever kind of happened.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't see that happen. But, you always kind of prepare for anything.
Yeah, you got to.
That would be my thing. Like if we can sustain and find something quickly, cool. But if not, the next best thing would be is to sell the house. You got a couple months before they come and say we're going to foreclose. So getting it up to date and whatever, and selling it and selling some of the furniture and whatever, and getting your money. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah,
what you gotta do. And a lot of times, I mean, because I think our house value has gone up since we've been here, because the houses around us, like you said, are going up.
To a degree, that's everybody right about now. Just because how crazy everything is. Everybody got some equity in their shit.
Yeah, so because I was looking at how much we had as far as equity, if we did want to sell like today, and I was like, all right, well, what the value of the house now, and then how much we've already paid on it. I'm gonna say we can estimate it about maybe 30 grand, maybe. That's enough for a down payment somewhere where we wouldn't have to worry about, depending on how much the house is.
If the market stay the way it is, I got like 150.
Yeah, when we decide to buy a new house and sell, we got to make sure we do it when the interest rates are low, specifically for if we're moving.
Yeah.
Even
is your sweet spot 5? Because that's mine.
Ours is at 3.
No, I mean, like, if you gonna wait to see if it gets down to 3.
I mean, I'm gonna say my sweet spot is like a 4.5. If it gets that low,
mine's 4.5, 5. Because I don't think we're gonna see 2 or 3 anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see it anytime soon. But that's my sweet spot, really. Just if I look up and it says that it's back to 3, it's like, all right, let's sell and buy quickly.
Yeah, I just think it'll be too long before I don't want to wait like 15 years. I can see, right. So I can see 4.5, 5 within 2 to 3. And that's a good time frame for me. You know what I mean? 15 years, me waiting just to see.
I mean,
that 2-3% was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah. Well, no.
When was it ever 2 and 3 before?
Because ours automatic. I forgot why ours was automatic 3. We had an FHA, so ours came to they said ours.
Y'all got that during the time that everyone was getting houses, so the interest rate was low.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when I first got mine in 2016, the average was 5, mid 4s, high 4s, 5s, and 6. I had got a 6% when I first got this house. So when everything that started happening came around, 6% to 2% or 2.5 or high 2, my monthly rate stayed the same.
Wow.
Cashed out like a motherfucker, put the shit back into the house and did repairs and other stuff like that. So
So you just
that's what I'm saying.
at that point.
Hmm?
You just refinance at that point.
Yeah, I reset. Yeah, but that's why I'm like,
Interesting.
I would love for us to see that again, but I can't even remember. I'm gonna look it up. I don't remember a time in history. Like even my mom said even when she got a house, the shit was like 7, 6 during that time. I'm pretty sure your parents was going to say something like that too. It was like at 5 or 6. So
Yeah.
that's sound. And then the financial crunch in the 70s. So that sounds like the norm. Mid fours is probably the lowest, and then the average is like 5, 6.
Yeah.
The 7 is just some shit that no, and 8 is what people ain't never seen before.
Yeah, because we were talking about refinancing a house at some point down the road, but neither one of us knew how it worked. And I was like, "Well, refinancing doesn't that just drop our payments? Do we get any money?" She was like, "I don't know. I just
No,
know."
you can get a cash out refinance. You know about it now, right? Cash
Nah.
out refinance. Okay, cash out refinance. That's what I did. So basically, you take some of the money in your pocket from the equity of the house. So since I got mine foreclosed, I already had equity built in when I bought the house. So when the housing market went up, I had even more equity. So I took some of that out. I didn't take out the max, and I put it back into the house to do repairs. Not repairs, renovations, because I didn't have anything broken.
Right.
So I did all that, and I gave myself a savings. So some money I put away in another account that I ain't even going to touch, and my rate stayed the same only because I was only paying. I wasn't paying a lot in my mortgage anyway, and the interest rates were low. So you can do a cash out refinance. It sets you back at zero as far as like how many years you've been paying your mortgage. Starts you off with a new mortgage, essentially. So if you do it, just be. If you do it, it's kind of like like if you do it now, right? And the interest rate's 7, you got y'all's at a 3, right?
Yeah.
Mid 3. You're going to be paying more money a month because the interest rate is at a 7. So it's like, yeah, you took the money, you did the cash out refinance, but yeah. And even if you didn't do a cash out refinance, let's just say you did a refinance because you wanted to pay a lower rate. Chances are you're not paying a lower rate because the interest rates aren't lower. So it's not wise for you to do a refinance. That's why some people are in a tricky spot because it's like if I got a 3, if I'm on refinance, it makes sense to do it at a 2 or a 1.
Right. If you're going to refinance, you got to do it at something lower. You don't want to never do it at something higher.
Hell no.
So if the
I'm stuck, basically. That's why I'm like, I'm waiting for because I'm gonna have to upgrade for it to make sense.
Right. Like, cause I was thinking about, I was like, man, I said, 1, I need to get my credit score back up. 2, because my wife's credit score has started going back up since we got the house. Hers went back up, and she's been keeping everything down. So her credit score is actually, I believe, higher than mine at this point. Depending on what you're looking at, my FICO or my FICO, whatever it is still in the low 7s. But I think hers is like up there. Like it's not perfect, but it's a little higher than mine. But that's because of my credit usage. My credit usage is high because money been tight.
I got you.
But then and thinking about it, I'm like, man, I said if I can just discipline myself to get it down and have lower payments, as I go, the credit card thing won't be an issue, and I'll be able to have more money in my pocket.
Yeah.
But that's tough. Once your credit cards get up that high, your money's always tight. It's literally gotta bring in more money just
or if like hit the lottery or something, or just come into an influx of something to put a huge dent in it. Like it does get crazy.
Even if I can pay off, like if someone said, "Hey, look, I'm gonna give you," let's say someone decided they're gonna give me 20 grand. Right, 20 grand is a nice round number to put on my credit cards because I only got 2. That would cut them almost completely in half. I mean, 20,000 is a little more than half, but it would cut it in half, which would make those minimums the lower, which means that now I could pay the minimum, and then whatever else I have, I can pay on to the interest. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much putting more in there anyway to make sure that I'm paying it down faster versus the minimum that'd be 30 years.
Right.
Because I think I got it at one point. It's like, oh, you'll pay it off in 3 years if you pay $319 a month. I was like, oh, that's easy. And I did it for two and a half. Actually, I think I did it for a little more than two and a half. What ended up happening was my radiator on my car went out.
Oh damn.
And so I had to put 1,500 on it. And like anyone else, you've been disciplined not spending the money on it. Now all of a sudden you done open the floodgates and you're just using it because it's already on there. Like
Yeah, I trust me, I get that shit. It's something like whenever you're trying to be responsible, shit is just screaming, pay me. Like right now, our cat got a cold,
oh,
and
really?
my wife was like, "Oh no, we got insurance and this, and that." And I was like, "Chances are," because she had took her to the vet Friday, and I was like, "Chances are they're gonna ask you to pay something
Mhm.
that same day." I was not expecting $250.
Mm.
So I had to right. So I had to pay on my payday. This shit always happened to me on my payday when somebody
Right.
like, yo, could I hold up or this, and that. So I was just like, all right. And then she was like, well, you get reimbursed. I'm like, okay. And she was like, oh, hold up. I forgot the first deductible was $100. So I'm like, so I'm out of $100 off the reimbursement off the rip. And she was like, yeah. So I was like, I'm only getting $100 back. But the cat is in bad shape. Not in bad shape, but she, eye watering, she sneezing and shit like that. So
Right. Right. Well,
but it's like stuff like it's always something. Like to this weekend, I mean not this weekend, but this paycheck, I was like, oh shit, I got some money to myself. I handled my responsibilities.
lies,
Maybe I buy these shoes that I just saw.
lies,
Wrong.
lies. I don't even know why you even thought it.
Yeah, I'd be like that too. Sometimes it's just
I don't
best
even
not
know
to
why
even
you
think
even
that.
thunk it.
Yeah, this is just best not to even think it. But life, adult shit, stuff like that.
Don't even
But
know why you thunk it, man. You should know better than to be thinking shit that you be able to do with your money.
except give it back to somebody or some type of entity.
Hmm.
What you want shoes? You want clothes? You want a burger? Oh, pay these bills. Pay these bills. Yo, I was editing something, right? This kind of leads it to the topic. Editing the clip. And do you remember? Yo, okay. Aside from that, remember I told you the story how I was about to whoop that nigga's ass in vitamin shop?
Yeah.
I told my wife that story finally. I forgot, I didn't realize I never told her that story. And
Oh.
she was like, you had that much patience? Because we was sitting outside doing some romantic shit, like just sipping wine and sitting on the screening porch eating. She had her little Chipotle burrito. I had some food she cooked yesterday and shit. So we sitting there talking and drinking and shit. And I told her that shit. She was like, you had that much patience? And I was like, fuck yeah, I had that much patience. I was like, one, it was raining. Two, I had these Crocs on. I was like, three, he was like I was telling, I was like, he was all of 160. I wanted to like take him and just drag him across all the aisles, all the shelves in fucking vitamin shop. I was like, I definitely would have went to jail.
Oh no.
And it would have and it would have looked like I picked on him. And she was just like, God damn.
Yeah, you was about to start bullying them.
I was like, I could have gave him a wedgie. I could have set him on top of the door. On top, you know how you sit somebody on top of the like. Well, I don't know if you ever did this, but you might sit somebody on top of the fence by their drawers or by their pants and shit. I could have set him on top of the door. You know what I mean? Like by his hood or by his shirt and shit. I said I could have did a lot of shit.
Yeah.
I could have did a lot of shit, but I chose not to. But I said that to say, me and her was having like a little romantic, little situation, chilling and shit like that. And I was doing some editing, one of the clips um, that I'm gonna put on YouTube, and it made me. Well, one of the clips I was editing was like, I don't know if you remember this. What I was telling you, like, the first time a girl ever, like, the first time I ever got some type of a girl recognizing what I was about and who I was, and she was just trying to cater to me in every small little way, was when she brought Oreos to my job. You remember us talking about that?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Hey, that's neither here or there. It had me thinking. I'm like, damn. Do guys have romantic things happen to them? Like, what is a what like the like our woman's idea of romance is of course quite different than our idea of romance. And I don't think I ever talked to any other guy about like, yo, because I don't I'm a how could I put it? I'm gonna guess that you don't consider the word romance as romance. You consider romance for you as like showing appreciation and words of affirmation and shit like that, or just a gesture, right? You don't care about the flowers and the blah 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 shit, but you can see it as being quote unquote romantic, right?
I think women and men just have a different perspective on what romance is. I think it's more of the act versus more of the giving, if that makes sense.
No, you would think that. I've dated two types and married one type. That two types of thoughts with that. So my question: what is the most quote unquote romantic thing someone has done for you? Not by their standards, by our standards.
I don't know.
Oh no! I knew you was probably gonna say that because I thought the same thing. I'm like, yo, I know what the standards are. Like, it's not gonna be like, oh, I got flowers and dinner cooked or anything like that. It'll be that for them.
It'd be that for them. Like I guess romance for us, I guess for the standards, did I get some?
Oh my, yo, that's not the bar for you, man. It cannot be the bar for you.
I mean,
Is it?
I'll say this. I never really thought of it because as far as romance, I've only heard romance come from one side, and it's not my side. It's like, oh,
Right.
as far as this is romantic. Oh, we need more romance. That doesn't necessarily run into my head of, oh well, she did this for me. That was romantic. I would never address my wife like saying this is
Right.
romantic.
That's why I preface it as that's not we won't even use that, but we might use like, yo, she was very she was appealing to the needs of me. She was attentive. She was giving, affirmation. She was appreciative. She was
Sex.
sex. Oh my gosh.
I
Nigga, you
mean,
ain't never come home and she might have just like had your drink made and shit and your shit already on 2K. Like, yo, he was acting, he was sounding like he was having a bad day.
if my wife ever had 2K up and ready for me, I'll be shooting my damn self. I'll be thinking she's about to kill me or poison me. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
But she had like when the pandemic first started, and this is before we got married. She when I got home, she would have a couple noodles ready for me. Like it
Okay.
was hot water, and she'd be like, "Oh," she would know. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, he gonna be home at this time." And I guess she would get it ready. And I'd come on, "Oh yeah, a couple noodles over there." So okay, because she knows I was literally walking in the house and walking upstairs to go to her. It was literally just a quick boop. That was it. So yeah,
I mean, that's definitely showing that she at that time she about you.
yeah.
Because that's because in my head, like I'm like, ain't that what that is for a woman? Like, yo, they just want to make sure that we are about them. We're showing some type of level or effort of like, yo, show me that you love me.
Mm.
Romance is usually it's typically that, if I'm not wrong. Them wanting us to show, gestures and shit like that we love them and we care for them, we cherish them and shit. So the fact that she had a fucking couple noodles ready for you, I mean, in my head, not equivalent to the shit that they make us do, like buy shit. But you get what I mean. It's still the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Still
It
the
is.
same.
I mean, I paid for the couple noodles, but
You going into semantics, but you get what I mean.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I was just like, damn, because when I was when I was doing the edited shit, I'm like, damn, that was the baseline, and I didn't even know that was the baseline of like what a man should be getting at the age because I was only 22. So I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I was just like, oh, okay. It felt weird. I'm like, it felt weird because I'm like, oh, a girl got me something. It wasn't even like I was trying to get her to get it. It was just like some Oreos. Like, hey, I thought about you. You like Oreos. Here you go. Like that type of shit.
I mean, I've heard girls that said that they like. I mean, I forgot what bar I was at, but it was like a couple of years ago. And she was like, "Oh yeah," it was a bartender. She was like, "Yeah, when I see my man, I kiss his feet, I rub his feet, I rub his hands, I rub his head." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that
I don't
sounds."
really care about
Good."
that.
She's like, "You wouldn't care, like you?" I'm like, "No, I do."
I
Like,
think it's. I mean, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if I would want someone rubbing my feet. I mean, they could rub my,
There you go.
but at the end of the day, it's like, all right, well, that's cool and all.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, at the time I'm working at a warehouse. So, are you sure you want me to take my socks off and you rub my feet? Like that sounds.
Well, maybe it's after you take a shower.
Maybe it could be.
Yep. Is she yelling at you? You need that after the shower.
Oh, that's talking to the kid.
Oh, but yeah,
Me, I
yeah. I mean,
get up
but
and get in the shower pretty early. I try to get in there before she's like starts doing her stuff to get ready.
yeah,
Like I jump in there real quick, brush my teeth, take my shower, and I just kind of put my lounge clothes on until it's time to go.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, well, stuff like that, like it's just like woman is not every woman is the same, not every man is the same. I personally don't really require anything like that. Foot massage every now and then is kind of cool. But
yeah,
just like I dated women that say I don't really like flowers, so you don't have to get me flowers. And one woman, I was just like, oh fuck. I had two women say that. The one said that because she just legitimately didn't see the reason in that.
right.
Another one did and said that because she wanted shit like actual gifts. And I was like, this one is the high maintenance one. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like the first one, she would be cool with chocolates, food, gift card,
Right.
like write something on, hey yo, pussy was bomb yesterday. Here you go.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
Like,
I get it. I know, like me and my wife, like, we used to get gifts, but now it's more like a card, maybe dinner,
yeah,
I think as money becomes untight, then we'll probably go back to like how it was beforehand. But because money's been tight, we just kind of do what we can
yeah,
to not break the bank. Like for Christmas,
yeah,
we pretty much get almost everything off Amazon and put it under the tree and put a name on it and says, "All right, that's your shit.
yeah,
Get your box cutter, your knife, and let's open it. Let's roll." You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I think that's just what we're looking at.
yeah. Like with the as far as like the romantic thing, I think for me, usually when my wife just like has everything handled, and I ain't really got because I'm always how could I put it? Like if I see stuff out of order, I'm one of these type. Like if I see stuff out of order, like in the house or in my surroundings, my brain I can't think straight. So it's more or less like, yo, if I see stuff dirty or junky, I automatically want to do it. But sometimes you come home, you don't want to do it. Or, you know what I mean? Like, or
Yeah, I
if you
get
had already did something, you don't want to do it. So, I know that sounds crazy what I'm about to say. But usually, like, yo, when my wife got shit in order and I'm able to easily flow throughout the house to do things. And, and I try to do the same thing for her because she actually she has OCD and shit like that. So I know that shit affect we back and forth. We doing that for each other.
it.
Like if I'm cutting it, like if I spent the 2 hours cutting the grass or doing whatever, I don't really want to come in the house and do too much of anything except
She
sit there.
she'll purchase stuff to keep things organized. Like we used to have I want to say we used to have a bag of like forks and knives and plastic forks, knives, and spoons, right? Just all in there. We used to put the paper towels wherever we could fit them at. And I come in the house one day and I'm like, what the hell just happened? I'm looking around. She didn't separated the forks and knives all into three different bags. It was no. Look, she put them in one bag and I put them in three different bags.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, this makes complete sense to put them in here. Because I think at first we had them either in the where the rest of the silverware was, so you kind of had to search through it, and I like brought baggies to like marinate something, and I was like, oh, okay. This, then she took it, put them all in there. I said, oh, well, why don't we just take them and put them in 3 different ones so that all you got to do is reach in there and take what you need. So instead of like searching for a fork, you go to the fork bag or you go to the spoon bag. And then she brought this thing, she put the paper towels in. And now we just fill it up and make it look neater. She even got like a little thing. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like a clothes hamper, but we use it for our toilet paper. Like a little circular thing. We put all our toilet paper in there.
Yeah, we got one of my wife does. My wife do the same shit yours do. She do that shit too, and I appreciate that because it's kind of like that's not romance. I mean, that's not in the sense of women, but I'm like, yo, you making my life easier with stuff that I didn't even think was a thing.
Right.
And I'm flowing through the house and I'm getting stuff done like quicker or whatever have you. I'm not really thinking about it.
And it makes it so that you know where it goes. So if it's
you know where it goes.
You know where it goes. I mean, honestly, when I order paper towels every 2 weeks, it's not like, all right, let me find somewhere to put these. I got 2 minutes. It's like, oh, okay. Boom, put
this,
it in there.
This goes it. Yeah, exactly.
Put the remainder on top of it, and then the other 2 right in front of it. So that way it's just easy grabbing. You keep going. And then for the toilet paper, it's just the toilet paper one is the hardest one because you got to actually take this toilet paper out and actually put it in there. Because so everything she did to make it organized was cool. Like the toilet paper thing, we were just dumping the toilet paper in there. So I was like, we're losing a lot of space just dumping it in here. Yeah. So then I started just putting them in there because I think we could get like 7 in there. Mm-hmm. I just started layering it up. And then one day, because it was just one day, I was like, it's just so much. And so I just took them out, did that. And I realized we don't even have a full thing of toilet paper. So now we do that, and now even when she comes in and she's like, "Oh, I'll put them in there," she puts them in there just the same way, so that it's all layered up and not losing space. When you just dump stuff in there, you're losing space.
Yeah.
So
you ain't doing your right. You're not taking your lessons from Tetris.
Yep. 36 rolls of toilet paper, you throw them in there, and then you like, oh man, it's so much toilet paper. When you actually layer those rolls up, you're like, damn, I barely made it to the top. So yeah, but it was, it's a good mind fuck sometimes when you do it like that, so it looks like you have a lot.
Yeah.
When you Tetris that shit, you have a lot.
Yeah, I guess organization is one of the things, man, for men. Well, I would hope so. Like, that sounds crazy. Mm-hmm. Them improving your life. I don't want to say organization because that sounds a little bit more minimal. You know what I mean? But them doing things to improve your life. That shit, I ain't gonna say it's romantic, but it's greatly fucking appreciated. It shows that you're about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then be more willing to get the, hey, I've been thinking about you. I love you. Let's go on, a night out on the town, or you know what I mean. Let's go have a picnic in the park type shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, it's not like you scratch my back, I scratch yours, but it's just more or less like if you care about her and you see her doing shit like that, you ain't gonna have no problem,
right?
Reciprocating that shit. So
yeah, because I know for sure she like a lot of the stuff she's organized or she's put together. So if she thinks it needs to be organized, she'll order something and be like, "This is what you're doing." Okay.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I do that to my wife sometimes too, because sometimes she'll we do that to each other actually. We're weird because like the last thing that I bought was there's a thing that you can put like your aluminum foil, your wax paper, and your saran wrap in, right? Like the rolls, and then it has a little thing where you just kind of slide the thing up to cut a slice off. I was like, all right, you putting these in here. I labeled them. This is where you go to get this at. And then before that, she had bought a thing for napkins and not toilet paper, paper towels, not napkins. She had bought a thing for paper towels and what is it called? Sandwich bags. So I was just like, all right. So we constantly doing shit like that.
Yeah. Like the only time I'm buying something to organize it is if I really see a real need from it, but that's just on my side of it because I'm like, because looking at it from a guy thing, it's like, yeah, whatever, we don't need.
Nah, my brain be man. Listen, it gets to the point. Remember we were talking about algorithms the other day, and what's in my algorithm. Another thing that's in my algorithm right now is be following these white girls these stay-at-home moms and their Amazon hacks as far as like storage and how to use what they use their steam cleaner for and shit like that. And in my head, I'm just like, yes, I need that. I need that. Not no bullshit. I'd be like, yo, I need that type of storage, or oh, my shoes can go in there, and it's a table, and I can put my other. We can put this over here, and I can save so much space because we ain't working with a lot of space in this house either. So that's like anything that's gonna save me space and function and flow, and it feels bigger. I'm all for that.
Yeah, we're not working with a lot of space in here, and that's probably one of the bigger reasons why I'm like, yeah, I'm ready, kind of. Not that I'm ready to move, but I'm kind of
ready to get some. Yeah,
just to get more space.
I told my wife the same thing. I was like, I would like to have some type of pantry, and I would like to have like an ensuite bathroom to the master. Those are the two main things that I want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting small. I want a basement.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that like because yours is going to be an upgrade, mine going to be an upgrade too. I still want to keep the stuff that I have, but I just want those two things.
Yeah, because I mean, the way I always see it is always with the basement, we can keep all the stuff we still have. It'll just be adding to it. Mm-hmm. So instead of so if it's like, all right, well, I want to get me a little elliptical bike or a bike in general, like a little whatever. If it's a big enough basement, we could put things down there. The video games can go down there, and we still have the area where we watch TV together. The bedroom, we probably still have a TV, and then we have our own little separate place we can do stuff. So if she wants her to have like a reading room or like a meditation room where if the door is closed, don't bother me, nigga, type shit. You good?
She like, look, I done already started my session, so the door's closed.
Whatever, you know. It's funny because I made her a sign one time because she had turned the office into like her like little sanctum. Mm-hmm. So I had got her a sign that said, please do not bother. You have 2 hands, 2 legs. You can figure it out.
That's a nice sign.
She was like, oh my Lord, you didn't have to put all that. And I laminated it too.
That's a nice sign.
I think I had made her a couple different ones. It was like, if the door is closed, this is my quiet time. Please do not disturb. Like I did signs that were like funny, but I did a couple that were like serious where it was like, if door is closed, please do not disturb. Knock first. If I do not answer, please come back later. Like real shit, you know. So something she could kind of,
you
know what I mean. So
shit. At that point, you definitely showing a different level of care.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Like speaking of that, different level of care. I always told myself. I was talking to somebody. I was like, no, I was talking. I forget who it was. It was a bunch of. I don't say it was a bunch of girls, a couple women or whatever, and some men, a group of us. And one lady was like, sometimes foreplay with your wife starts as soon as you wake up. And she was like, I think, man, you talked about it too. It's just like making sure she's straight. So when it comes time for you to, put that pressure on her, she ain't got to think twice about it. Like, well, shit, he did do this, he did do that. That type of shit. So I'm pretty sure that gave you some brownie points here and there whenever that happened. And, you was good to go. He was good to go.
Oh,
he said no.
I said, I hope so.
Oh.
I mean, like stuff like that. Like stuff like that. I just like, all right, let me take care of that, whatever. Like there's just certain things in the house that we take care of independently, and it's just kind of like this unspoken thing that's what you take care of. Like even like changing the air filters on the return air in the furnace. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To her, she's like, that's your job, and like even for like Leo's little water bowl. Because we got him the little I think you told us about the little faucet or whatever. Mm-hmm. We got him one of those. So I, every 2 weeks I clean it. Clean it, put some soap in it, whatever. Change the water because the water only lasts for about a week anyway. The way that little nigga be drinking water and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that he drinking water.
Yeah.
Y'all don't give him sink water, do y'all?
No, we give him the refrigerator water
Okay.
because it's filtered. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure it doesn't make a difference. We used to give him just regular faucet water for the longest anyway.
Dog, do y'all drink faucet water?
Um, Not me particularly. I get my water out of a bottle because when I go to work, I need to have it accessible versus, hey, let me go find me some water. So I just keep
Gotcha.
mine on deck. But before we got the cat, we used to give them just regular water, and then somewhere down the road, I ended up buying the refrigerator because I was tired of bending over. I was tired of bending over trying to get stuff off the bottom shelf and shit. Shit was rough. And a
Oh
freezer,
yeah.
all this shit. And I was like, man, I'm gonna get a new refrigerator. So I got a new refrigerator and I got a new oven. So I think I got the oven first and then the refrigerator. And once we did that, then we started giving him refrigerator water.
Gotcha.
We started giving refrigerator water because that water was already filtered.
Gotcha.
Filtered more. I mean, not that tap water is not filtered. It goes through a lot of things, but yeah. He gets refrigerator water, and then his little water fountain has a little filter in it anyway. So he has the best water possible right now. So, and I clean it every week. So he good. Yesterday was Leo's birthday. He's 28.
Shit. I was about to say our girl. Ain't that some shit? She 14. I just don't remember when she turned it.
Yeah. Yep. Leo turned 28 yesterday. We had to look up how old he was in cat years. So we looked up.
They like dog ears, right?
No. They said the rule of thumb, and that's what we're just gonna go by for this point. It was after the first year they aged 15 years. So they're practically a grown adult. The next year they age 9 years, and then every sequential year after that, or every year after that, they only age 4. So
Oh, she 22? God damn.
so Leo's a solid 24. I mean 28, sorry.
Yeah.
It was a solid 28. And, at first I was like, oh, yeah, he's turning 12. He's still a little kitten. And she's like, no, let's look this up so we can know how old he's turning in cat years, not human years. Found out he's turning 28 years old. So he grown now.
Yeah.
No wonder he be sleeping around the house all day. He be tired.
Nah, you just lazy. Most cats lazy until they activate it. Like sometimes I've gotten into cat talk. Sometimes we'll put like when we leave or whatever, we'll leave like a YouTube I don't know if y'all do this YouTube video, like a cat video for birds and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that little girl be activated like a motherfucker doing the chattering and shit, smacking the TV. I'm like, all right, you can't watch this one.
Nah, we
Can't
ain't
watch this one. Y'all don't do that?
If our TV was mounted to the wall, maybe.
Oh yeah, okay. I got you. I got you.
By the time we get another cat, well,
y'all not getting another cat. She already said that.
Yeah, I'm just saying if it ever happens, I don't think it will. We're going to have to mount the TV because we got lucky that Leo didn't push over the TV.
Oh, jeez.
Because the TV that's in the bedroom was a TV that was down here at first. And he would get behind it and he have a hold up, spray him with some water and shit. Like, what the fuck you doing? No, we ain't doing that. And when we got this TV, he tried it, but he knew, we.
Oh, you gonna get super soap?
Well, we pretty much, we trained him well. He stopped getting on the kitchen table when he was young. He never got on the kitchen counter. He doesn't go behind a TV anymore. Like I think as he got around to about 1 year old, he would go behind it and walk when he was small, but now he's bigger. He doesn't do all that. But those kitten years with a TV like this, I had to take that little nigga back to the adoption. Nah, he broke my TV. Fuck that.
They're gonna be like, sir, if you don't leave out of here with that cat because he broke your TV. We ain't about to get into that. That's a whole nother Yeah. So, all in all, what were we talking about? Oh yeah. So to wrap up the so it sounds like you on board where I'm at. Like, what the most romantic thing that someone has done for you is just more or less just like making your life easier.
Make my life easier. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
And you know what's crazy though? That shit probably just built into us. You know how they say woman's supposed to be your helpmate. That doesn't mean that they wait on you hand and foot. That just means depending on how your lifestyle is or what your life is, help me out, motherfucker, and you're gonna get protected and provided for and all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah, no.
You know?
Yeah.
If you see I'm working with a hard, situation going on, help me out.
Yeah, man. Sure.
We can make those jokes because we married.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Shit.
But yeah, man. Yeah, that made me think. I'm just like, damn. Like I was also talking to my wife about, I was saying something. I was like, I forgot what it was. I was just like, men really ain't that. We were talking about me and her or whatever, or something like that. We were talking about something, but we got into the conversation like giving gifts and shit. I was like, man, they really don't be wanting a bunch of shit. Or this is what we was talking about, right? We was talking about how much does it really cost to maintain a woman, right? So it was kind of like if it's your wife, she stay at home. Like if she ain't got no bills. I was like, for real, it only costs maybe about $1,000 a month. And I was like, to some men, maybe. I said maybe. Maybe.
If you renting a room.
What do you mean?
Because if she ain't
to maintain your wife?
if you paying everything, that includes your mortgage, air, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at more around, I want to say 2 to 3.
Nah. Phone bill probably $40. You ain't gotta get her the most expensive shit. Remember we going back to that. You just have to make sure that her needs are met, right? So phone bill minimum of 50. It's number one. She ain't got no bills, remember?
Right.
She living with you. So whatever you got is what you got. You was already doing that.
Right.
So let's just say what, $1,800 for living quarters, maybe?
Yeah.
So you got
living
phone bill paid, right? Phone bill paid. You buying food, she cooking it. So food is what, like $300 a month or some shit like that? Maybe $400.
If you're lucky.
So let's just say
maybe $450.
Right. So $450. She partaking in that. $50 for the phone. And if she want a car, you can get her a little something that you can get her like, $300, $400 note. I know that's kind of crazy right now because that's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing.
However,
well,
it is
$4 note.
Right. It is. It just depends on how you work your situation. You know what I mean? So you could get that depending on how you work your situation. And some walking around money every 2 weeks. What, $200 every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
That's not bad. So we was talking about that. I was like, and if it was a guy, you know what you probably want? A fucking new video game.
Yeah.
And that's $70. We was almost just comparing it and shit. I was like, no matter how you slice it, like the women can have their needs taken care of. They want to live Instagram fabulous.
Right. We just want to live.
We just want to live comfortably, be happy. I was like, most of us, like, I'll be happy with a game and maybe some shoes every quarter of the year. Every 3 months, like a pair of shoes, a game maybe every month.
Right.
The clothes once or twice a year.
Right.
Summer clothes, the spring to summer, and then the fall to winter clothes. Like your parents would do when it was back to school year. Like,
right.
Getting 2 pairs of, you get 1 pair for sale December or whatever. You get another pair on your birthday, like some shit like that. Like,
yeah,
cool with that.
Yeah.
And women, that's how you show love to us. Like, you break us off with a video game every couple months. Something.
Yeah.
That's romantic.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get you this new 2K. What? Oh, okay.
Yo, if a woman ever said I'm gonna get you a new 2, knowing that it takes so much time away from her, that's romantic.
Yeah.
That's romantic as fuck. But yeah. On that note, everybody keep the romance alive. Keep the romance alive, no matter how you doing it. Keep your person happy.
Yeah.
And, you know, more dick sucks will be in your future, even if you providing or receiving. we thank y'all for tuning in, and see you next time.